This is a perfect example of how everything doesn't always go as planned. And the number one cause of accidents in older men is older men thinking they're younger men.
There's a place I have found in the shade on the ground, far from all worries and troubling sound. When I go there to be.
I know that some of my viewers do not like it whenever I use too much dash cam footage, but please bear with me on this. I have something I want to get off my chest. On this day, I was traveling on a highway north of I-10 and west of I-25 in New Mexico. I prefer to travel on back roads rather than major highways. At no point in my travels did I come any closer than 40 miles of the border between Mexico and the United States, and while the Supreme Court ruled in U.S. v. Martinez Fuerte that the Customs and Border Patrol is allowed to set up checkpoints within 100 miles of the border, some still argue that those stops are a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. I am one of those people. The primary reason that I feel that way is because I have stopped multiple times at these checkpoints and been questioned beyond the only question I am expected, though not obligated to answer, on the threat of being detained, namely, are you a U.S. citizen? I'm willing to answer that question in the hopes that the questions will end there. Too many times, they do not. This happened to be one of those days. The checkpoint which I'm approaching is almost 85 miles north of the border, and when I am stopped, the first question asked was answered. The second question is the one that astounded me and was so reminiscent of travels in Russia-controlled East Germany before the end of the Cold War. From my military duty assignment in Fulda, Germany, one could travel between U.S.-controlled West Germany and Russian-controlled East Germany through a corridor that led to Berlin. Most know that the city was divided in half by the Berlin Wall, but more importantly, the city itself was isolated in Russia-controlled territory. If you deviate from your path by so much as 10 to 15 minutes, you were questioned extensively and your vehicle was thoroughly searched. Now, back to the second question that I was asked. This agent wanted to know why I was traveling on Highway 185 instead of Interstate 25. Floored, I paused for a second, or two, or even three, and then I asked if I'm free to go, to which he responded that I was. I immediately departed, contemplating the audacity to trample on my Fourth Amendment rights so egregiously. It's always nice whenever I have an opportunity to find a location that gives me protection from the weather. I know that it doesn't show today, but the weather, well, it just wasn't as perfect as it could have been. But I have an opportunity to work undercover, and I also have an opportunity to continue to work through inclement weather using this shelter. It has the amenities that I need, and the only difference is that it doesn't come with power, but there is a water station not too far. This is a place called Butte, and it is a lake that is located just north of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. In order to visit the butte for which it's named, you would need a boat though. So I figure that I'll just have the opportunity to enjoy the view of the lake, do some editing, and of course, when I have an opportunity, enjoy a little bit of libation. In order to keep that libation at a constant and cool temperature, I have my Nissan koozie, which Paul and Heidi provided for me, which I greatly appreciate. Thanks, guys.
Kindness yet for all I'm signed. For all I'm signed, my dear. For all I'm signed, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for all I'm signed.
In keeping with something that has become something of a tradition of mine, I wanted to stop at the New Mexico Veterans Memorial and see what they had to offer. They have a wall that is a replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall from Washington, D.C. They have an aircraft cannon. They also have a replica of a Korean War era ambulance. And then, of course, they have a placard of each of the wars that the United States has fought in since the American Revolutionary War through the current war that just recently ended in the Gulf and in Afghanistan. And the reason that I want to stop is because, obviously, as a veteran, I want to honor the veterans not only of the United States as a whole, but each of the states individually.
Well, as you can see by the sign here, I made it to San Antonio, but it looks a lot different than last time I was here. I don't see the Tower of Americas. I don't see the Alamo Dome. I don't see the Alamo. Did they move the Alamo? Remember the Alamo!
All joking aside, I like to have fun with the names of well-known places that are co-located in other states or in other countries entirely, like San Antonio, Texas, while visiting New Mexico. I also wanted to visit the original Owl Bar and Grill for the world-famous green chili burger, while pointing out the fact that Paris Hilton's great-grandfather, Conrad Hilton, got his start in the hotel business here by carrying luggage from the train station to his father's hotel, run out of their adobe house.
It might not look like much now, but this site in 1945, July 16th, 1945, this site would have looked a whole lot different. This is the location where the first atomic bomb was detonated.
I tried to get a little closer to the actual detonation site, but in the military we had an expression for my result. I was a no-go at that station. A difficult place to find, but well worth the struggle. It's a BLM land called Hackberry Lake, and I was able to spend the night there, single night, capture the sunrise. And as I was capturing the sunrise that morning, a lot of people who like to ride ATVs and UTVs showed up and began riding around. I was going to throw the drone up, but it was a little too windy.
Just wanted to get a quick sort of a panoramic of the location that I currently find myself. I'm in Valley of Fires, BLM rec area. And it might be a little washed out because of the sun behind me. But this is an area that was formed by volcanic rock. So all of the rock here that I've come across, all of the rock, large formations that you see, are basically just black volcanic rock. Filet mignon, green beans with diced onions and red pepper, and marinated artichoke hearts. What's for dinner, baby?
By myself, only me. No one can guess what I came there to see. Under your wing, everything is alright. Nothing ever will be quite the same. And I wouldn't say that it's been a hard time. With you it's always easy as can be. I could wait a long, long time to prove that I am true. I hope you believe me. I will stay and never go away. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground.
falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it?